Hello everybody, what is Eddie and welcome to another video on the channel for you guys here today, and we are going to talk about Eafc 24, the best career mode teams to do, and the first one kicking off with is Bournemouth. Bournemouth have had an absolutely amazing transfer window. Like, you just look at the players they've already brought in here, and they didn't really lose anybody that big or that crucial. You know, like I said, they brought in Tyler Adams, strengthened their midfield to replace Jefferson Lerma, which is probably the biggest name that has left them. They brought in Sinistera, they brought in Kekeres, even though Sinistera is a loan to begin with. Kekeres, who's a permanent player, you can potentially grow. They've also got loads of other signings they've made, not here at the moment. Like, this guy, even though he's back out on loan in real life, he's gone back out on loan to FC Lyon, I think, in France. We also have Max Aarons, new signing. Radu, new signing. Travers has gone out on loan to Stoke in real life. Obviously, I didn't want to permanently transfer him, so you've still got Mark Travers here. Radu, I believe, is also on loan. We've got Justin Kluivert. We all know how good Justin Kluivert is. Alex Scott, probably one of the best attacking midfielders in the Championship last season. We got Max Aarons. So, yeah, I would highly suggest doing Bournemouth as one of your first career mode saves. In terms of budget for this team, I'd imagine you should be around about 30 million. If you're looking for an improvement, honestly, I wouldn't really suggest any improvements. I feel like Bournemouth kind of really nailed down potentially, potential new signings and new areas. Maybe adding another striker, maybe, because obviously you've got Solanke, Moore, and Semenyo, but I'd imagine Semenyo could potentially be used more as a wide player. So, and Kiefer Moore has been linked to moves away. Maybe you can try and get maybe another DM or something like that. But apart from that, I wouldn't really do much because I feel like this team's good. It can grow. It's young. Utara, I'm not sure what rank he's got in the AFC, but I reckon he probably got a bit of an upgrade. But yeah, honestly, this is a really good team, and I would highly suggest doing Bournemouth. And obviously new coach as well, try and maybe implement his type of tactics, possession-based football. It's a new era down at Bournemouth, and it's kind of exciting. Right, it's kind of exciting. Anyway, let's move on to the second team. Here we are onto the second team here with Leeds United, and yeah, obviously Leeds United relegated to the Premier League Championship team, had a very, very dramatic summer, obviously, takeover, new manager, loads of obviously their main players leaving, like Tyler Adams, Sinistera, Rodrigo. Even though Weston McKennie obviously left, but he was only a lone player. Jack Harrison. A lot of players have moved on for Leeds United. And I'm not going to lie, they were looking bad at the start of the season. They started picking up in real life a little bit. 3-0 win against Millwall in the last game. But yeah, this is their team so far. One player to do highly suggest is this guy, not Eddie Gray. I can't remember his first name, Gray, but I believe he's the nephew of Eddie Gray, Leeds United legend. So this man could be quite big for you. 17 years of age. I'm not sure what rating he is in EAFC, but I'd imagine he's probably around about the 62, 63 mark. So he's probably got, decent potential on him. Obviously, you've got lots of good players here. Summerville, Gnotto. Maybe if you get a realistic offer in for Gnotto, maybe potentially try and sell him if he's still in the Championship, even though he looks to stay set at Leeds United, obviously up until January now in real life. But obviously, not really a club came in for him for an acceptable offer for Leeds because he really wanted to leave Gnotto. But that situation looks to change. Obviously, they made tons of new signings. Joe Rodon, Ethan Ampadu, probably one of the best strikers in the Liga, Joel Piru. Another great striker, Glenn Kamara, Jed Spence. So yeah, and Jane Anthony on loan after the pretty much like a straight swap deal between them and Sinistera. But yeah, it's a really exciting time at the moment for Leeds United. Obviously, at the moment, like a complete new change, takeover, new manager, and they're looking really good. Like, this team looks really solid for a career mode team. Obviously, going to be challenging with the likes of Leicester City, Southampton, Norwich, them lot. If you're looking for a signing essentially try and make, I would definitely look at adding another centre-back into the club. So you remember, the Championship is a long season and to only have 3 centre-backs, a little bit of a worry. But yeah, maybe potentially another wide player because you've only really got Gnotto, Summerville and Jane Anthony. I definitely think Leeds needed to do more in the transfer window. But yeah, that is the Leeds United lineup. I would expect roughly around about like a 10 million budget, for Leeds United. Maybe potentially a little bit more, but I wouldn't expect too much. Because that's what you have in Triple G. Maybe 18 max. I can't see any more than that for a Championship club. But anyway, yeah, Leeds United, I would suggest as one of your career mode teams to do. Team 3 here, Lyon for this one, and yeah, a bit more of an odd one, you know, obviously with 2 English clubs beginning, now we're moving over to France. Obviously Lyon in real life have sacked their manager. I think they've appointed, I don't know if they've appointed him yet, but Cambiasso is an Italian manager, but I believe they are still managerless. I could be wrong as I'm recording this, actually. By the time this gets out, he probably has been appointed anyway, but yeah, anyway, this is the Lyon lineup. Lyon have made a few signings, not too many. They've signed a few good youngsters, obviously, like they usually do. Nemara is probably one of the main ones who's been signed from some Norwegian, Danish club. 19 years of age, right winger, probably got bags of potential on him. He could be a good player to use in career mode. However, they have lost quite a couple of players. They've lost one of their main players, Barcola, who's gone to PSG for, I think, around about like 35 million. They've also signed some other players like Maitland-Niles, a very interesting one. He could be quite good, well-rounded player. I'm interested to see what rating he actually is in the Eafc, which I can check actually right now. Let's go and have a look, because I reckon he's like 71, because he has not had a good time, has he? He has not had a good time. So amazing 8 miles, about to give him a 72 overall this year. So yeah, Lyon, they don't really have the big budget. By the way, this guy was actually one of our most recent videos, between one of the tallest players with the smallest players. 6'8" CDM. Wow. So he could be interesting. But yeah, that is the Lyon team. I wouldn't expect a massive budget for Lyon, because they don't usually do in the French league. Obviously, they got a few Asian players. I would definitely look at a striker potentially, even though Lacazette will do you fantastic for the first season. But after that, I would be a little bit worried. But anyway, Lyon, I would highly suggest doing. Okay, next club we have moved on to is Valencia. Valencia have had an absolutely mental past 10 years, from Champions League to battling off relegation. I believe it was 10 years ago actually they were in the Champions League. But oh my, the downfall of Valencia. However, they're starting to build a little bit in real life again. Their keeper, this guy was heavily linked to moves away, but he never decided to actually move in the end. Mama Desheli. But yeah, really solid goalkeeper. Obviously 22 years of age, rated 6'6". You could get some big money for him, which I would suggest would be your big challenge in this career mode. Raise funds, even though they have sold a lot of players and got rid of a lot of players. They got rid of Costalejo, who's their right mid, and they've freed up so many spaces, you know, in so many positions, like just selling off all the deadwood. Tony Lato's another one that's left. So many other players that I can't just think of at the moment, but Cavani, he's not a player that's left. Lino, he was quite good for them actually, but his loan expired. Mubia, another player's loan's expired. Nico Gonzalez, he's gone to Porto. Loads of players have left, loads of players. But looking at this team right now, they've made a couple of new signings. Perplu is one of them, as well as Marla, who actually looks really good. Zaka signed in a permanent deal, the Lyon centre-back. I'd imagine he's probably going to get a bit of a big upgrade. As soon as I say this right now, actually, I'm going to go and have a look at his rating as soon as I say this very quickly. He has been given a 72 overall this year for Eafc. So, yeah, not bad. Their squad is young. I would definitely advise using the Youth Academy. Yarmouk is another player that I definitely think should definitely be utilised. But, yeah, I think Valencia, I would highly suggest using their Youth Academy. Try not to spend money unless if you make money through selling players. So let's say if you sell, I don't know, Gabriel Paulista or Jose Gaya for, I don't know, like 15 mil. You know, you could maybe use like 10 of that or 7.5 of it. But yeah, highly suggest doing Valencia. Anyway, let's move on to the final team. And this one I feel like would be the best one. Union Berlin, the fairy tale story from Bundesliga 2, about 2 seasons ago. They are now playing Champions League football. You heard that right. Champions League football. Can you even describe like how that happens? I mean, that's why I love the Bundesliga. Like, it just seems to be every team one year. You know, like everyone different. But anyway, Union Berlin, the one the cricket team used to definitely do. They've had a very interesting window. Bonucci, Gozens, Volland, experience right there to us in European, obviously, and even in the Champions League with Gozens and Bonucci. And I don't know, did Volland play in the Champions League? I'm not too sure. But yeah, a lot of experience been added to this side as well, like Schwolo, Bonucci, Gozens, Volland. You know, they've added a lot of experience. And then they've also signed some interesting, exciting talents like Aronson, you know, Nuffman, Fofana. I would highly suggest doing Union Berlin as one of your Cremo teams. I'm interested to see a lot of these ratings next year for Union Berlin players. I definitely think key players for this team will definitely be Becker. I definitely trying to abuse that pace and, you know, against the likes of Real Madrid and PSG. It depends how far you make it in the Champions League. But I honestly, I think your goal should be, if you're in the Bundesliga, just try and get European football. You know, try and stick with that. Try and build them into a European team. But yeah, I can't imagine they'll have a big budget, Union Berlin. I just can't imagine it. Maybe minimum 28, 27 mil. I just can't imagine them having a big budget. But yeah. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video on the channel. If you guys have, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. I really hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care, people. Be to you soon. See you later.